Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Amy and today I have my September wrap up. So I have a pile of books here, but then I will also put up the pictures of the ebooks that I put next to me. So I ended up reading a total of 10 books in September. Yes, that's a lot for me, just so you know. It was my first month that obviously I had no children at home, and I took full advantage. Yes, okay, but most of the books that I have read this in September were either ebooks or audiobooks. Even though I've got physical ones here, I mostly listen to them because obviously I do all my housework anyway. So let's get straight into it. The first book that I read, which will be up here, was The Lies We Tell. So I started reading this on a whim because I saw it on a story on Instagram and I thought, oh yeah, it's on Kindle Unlimited. Oh my goodness. I I couldn't believe what I was reading at first. I was like, what? If you have any triggers, you need to read the triggers for this book for like stalkers, um, abuse, and all I can tell you is the man's an absolute psychopath. But I did really enjoy it. So I that's the first one I read. The next one that I finished and read was obviously Zodiac Academy. So I gave this four. Oh, sorry, I gave The Lies We Tell 4 stars. So I gave this 4.5. Was so close to 5, but obviously it was a little bit. I mean, I did love it, but there were some parts in it where I was just like, really. But I did really enjoy this one. I'm not going to go much into any of the books because obviously I've done vlogs and you will see all of my thoughts on there. And obviously I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I'm just going to tell you what I rated and what I enjoyed about them. So there was not much romance in this book. It obviously is about two twins and a load of bullies. And that's what I'm going to say about that one. The next book I read was the novella after that one, which I put up there, which was an Academy of Bullies. I think it's about Darius and Orion, and it was like a 95-page book, and I gave that 4 stars. It was a quick, easy little book to read. I think it is like I think you should read it before you read the second one because it gives you an insight to obviously Darius when he was younger. So then the next book that I finished in September was Caught. And obviously I've given you all my thoughts about this. I gave it 3.5 because like I said, the beginning bit was just boring and then the rest of it was like bam, 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 bam. So then obviously I'm going on to the next one now, but it did take me since June to actually listen to this because they're so big, but the chapters are so tiny. So you're listening, you feel like you've listened to like loads of chapters, but you've only listened to like, I mean, some of the chapters are like only a page and a half long in the book. They're like 2 minutes long, not even that. Sometimes only a minute long. And then the next book that I read and finished in September was An Heir Comes to Rise. I gave this 3 stars. I nearly gave it 2. Scratch that. No, sorry. I gave it 3.5. I nearly gave it 2 because I found it very, very boring. I am obviously going to read the next one because I feel like this is the setup for the series. Like I said in my previous vlog that I finished this, it's like Throne of Glass. It is the setup book. I'm hoping it will get better. I have only purchased, well, I didn't actually purchase the second book. My best friend bought it for me. But I'm now not going to buy the third one until I finish the second one because if it is like this one, then I won't be continuing the series and I'll sell them. Luckily, luckily I didn't tab this because I was going to tab it, but I then didn't. So I'm quite glad that I didn't do that. And then the next book that I finished and was a complete surprise to me and I gave 5 stars to, and that was Caraval. So yes, was amazing. Absolutely loved it. Hurt me physically inside with what happened in chapter 33. That killed me inside. And that is all I'm going to say about that one. If you know, you know. If you don't, go read it. It's brilliant. I absolutely loved it. The next book that I read was a short little smutty novella, which I put up there, which was My Hot Vampire Next Door, which is basically about a vampire and a girl, and, you know, they basically get it on. They do love each other, but it's the fourth one. I'm waiting for the next one to come out, so hopefully that will come out soon. And then the next book that I finished, oh, sorry, hang on. I gave Hot Vampire 4 stars. I then thought I'd carry on with the Twisted series, because FairyLoot had announced that they're going to be doing the set, and it goes on sale in December. And obviously I'm a subscriber to FairyLoot, and I don't actually have any physical copies of these books. So in my mind, as an excuse, I thought I need to read these, so then I have an excuse to buy them, and then I have physical copies, and then I can just put them on my shelf, which is over there. And that was, and I'll put it up there, is Twisted Games. It's a bodyguard romance between a princess and a bodyguard. I gave it 4.5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I absolutely loved Rhys in it. He was like the best bodyguard. I mean, I've read bodyguard romances before, but this was just icing on the cake. It was so good. And I thought, you know what, no, I need to read the next one. So then I read, sorry, I'm just turning it over in my journal so I can remember what I've rated them. And I thought, oh, I don't have anything else to read. My TBR's done. So I thought, you know what, I've got them all on audio, on Scribd. I might as well just listen to them. And they're on Kindle Unlimited. So I thought, why not? I then read Twisted Hate, which is about Josh and Jules. Now, Josh is Ava's brother, and Jules is Ava's best friend. Josh and Jules hate each other. Absolutely hate each other. I mean, I was laughing out loud with like the snippets of like banter going back and forth between them. It was hilarious. And there is one quote in this book that is absolutely brilliant. Hang on, let me see if I can find. I'll put it on my quotes, because I put it on my quotes page. Let another man touch you, Jules, and you'll find out just how easy I can take a man's life as I can save one. Now, when you listen or read Josh in like the other books, he sounds like really like not so, I mean, obviously they're all dominant men, but he doesn't seem like dominant like in the other books. But in this book, he is very dominant over her, and they basically become a truce, and they basically become friends with benefits. Well, I don't really would say it's friends with benefits. It's more like, I don't know if they're fake. No, they don't fake date. That's the next one. They basically come to a truce, and they basically, I mean, I suppose it is friends with benefits, really. And obviously there's stuff from obviously Jules' past that we don't know about, that we then learn in the book. And then obviously you know about obviously Josh's past, especially if you've read the first one, and you know that them like together, it's just going to end badly. But bearing in mind, it was a brilliant book. Now, the last book that I finished and read in September was Twisted Lies, and I gave that 5 stars. Do you know why? Because I started reading it at 8:45 in the morning, and then I finished reading it the same day at 11 o'clock at night. Bearing in mind, I did have a break in between like 2:30 and 7 when my kids were at home. So obviously I was doing their dinner, giving them their baths and putting them to bed. As soon as I put them to bed, I picked it back up, and I just listened and listened and listened. I ended up finishing the book in one day. And I did put it as my book of the month. Christian, oh my God. He is chef's kiss. It's the biggest one in her series. It's very long. And the romance doesn't even begin to start until like over halfway in the book. And the connection between them was absolutely amazing. I mean, you could cut the sexual tension with a butter knife. I literally was like, come on, just kiss her for God's sake. Just get it over and done with. You know you want to. Because he's absolutely obsessed with her. But obviously she has a stalker, which isn't obviously nice. And you do find out who the stalker is. I didn't guess who the stalker was whatsoever. I actually thought it was him, to be honest, because I thought he was obsessed with her, so it must be her. But then he's obviously trying to protect her from the stalker. So, yes. But that was my book of the month because I literally read it in a day and I gave it 5 stars. As much as I loved Caraval, that I didn't read. I mean, if I read a book in a day, it's getting 5 stars and it's going on my book of the month. Absolutely amazing. Right, okay, so that's the end of my September wrap up. I really hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you subscribe to my channel and like my video if you liked it. If you made it to the end, please leave a heart emoji in the comments. Tell me what you've been reading and what your favourite book was in September. And I'll hope to see you in my next one. Bye guys.